Loop Heroes developers tell Russian players to pirate their game. Wow. As if he needed to. As if he needed to tell the Russians, like, hey, you know? Now, the reasons that I find this interesting is, number one, this is a company that goes against the grain. I mean, I would have never heard about this company had they not decided to do the exact opposite of whatever other company is doing. And just tell people, it's like, hey, you know, we don't give a shit, just pirate it. So I looked into the company. It's like, why are they doing this? And then I found out that the company is Russian. And I was like, oh, I see. So yeah, I mean, they're in a very interesting situation where it actually shows why all these companies are boycotting Russia. They're not boycotting it for political reasons. Like, it's not all these game development companies that got in a room and they were high on their own farts and they thought, hey, you know, we could actually put an end to the war if we stop selling video games to Russia. Clearly that didn't happen. The reality is that they literally cannot sell their games to Russia. It's because of the sanctions, and it's so difficult to find a payment processor at this point that this is why so many companies have decided to not sell their games there. It's not because of political reasons, right? So if they can get some clout out of this, if they can portray themselves as the correct side and, you know, like they're doing this for humanitarian reasons, they will do it. So this is why you had all these gaming companies, you know, virtue signal and talk about this shit. Because they don't care. I mean, they sell their games into other countries, like China, for example, which is plagued by human rights abuse scandals. And they really don't care about it. But like, for some reason, now they care. And the only reason they care is because, well, they physically cannot sell their games, even if they so wanted to. And then it also shows that the gamers themselves don't give that much of a fuck. Because I haven't seen many negativity towards Loop Hero. Like, I haven't seen people saying, oh, yes, well, I'm not going to buy it now, blah, blah, blah. In fact, even in the forum of Kotaku, which I'm surprised that it's open, you get people saying, well, with that attitude, I'm just going to buy the game now. Like, again, the actual gamers do not care. The consumer does not care. Like, the free market does not care about the issue. The only thing the free market cares is, like, is the game good or not? That's it. So I found that interesting. Now, if you ask me about the sanctions, because a lot of people keep bothering me about it, I guess it's due to the fact that I haven't spoke about this issue, and I really didn't want to talk about it on this channel, but fine, you know, like, if it's about gas, or if it's about technology used to create weapons, yeah, I do think that those sanctions are needed, but when you're talking about trivial shit like video games and, you know, like, corporate stuff like McDonald's, I think you are mentally challenged. I mean, the whole argument that they have is that if they make life bad for the average Russian, they're going to overthrow the government. And I'm thinking, based on what? Honestly, based on what? Like, have you seen North Korea? Do you think they have good lives? Do they get to play AAA games? Are they overthrowing Kim Jong-un? No. So what are you basing on? Have you looked at history? Have you looked at Weimar Germany? Were people having it good then? Did they overthrow? No. Right? And then you also have to ask the question. It's like, if you believe that if people having bad times equals people overthrowing the government, you do realize that Europe is having bad times as well. I mean, have you looked at the gas price? Have you looked at the price of food? You know, lettuce was up to $10 last time I checked. I mean, if that is your thesis, if you genuinely believe that people having bad time means that people get angry, then that's a big yikes. I hope you're wrong. I really hope you're wrong. Because I don't want people getting angry here. So that is something that I firmly believe. It's like taking away the video games from Russians isn't going to solve anything. I do understand why they're doing it, though. They're not doing it because of humanitarian reasons. And if you're that person that's like a brainlet and genuinely thinks, oh, well, good company. Oh, well, they pulled out, well, humanitarian reasons. Then I don't even know if I can have a conversation with you because you're wrong on so many levels. So yeah, like, Loop Hero is having problems selling its game in Russia, and they said, alright, well, if that's the case, just allow people to download it, allow people to pirate it. I mean, again, I don't even think they needed to say that they should do it. It is interesting though, right? Because all these Russians now, they can't buy any video games if you think about it. So like if you're an indie company and you could actually put physical discs, you might actually have people buying it. Like you might actually see Russia going back to brick and mortar stores. Although I don't know if they're going to have money to buy them 2 or 3 years from now if the sanctions remain. But still, it's very interesting. So the developers are now going to sell their games outside. They say that there is nothing wrong with torrents. We are very grateful for support, but the truth is that everything is fine with us. Send this support to your family and your friends during this difficult time. Now, regarding like video game developers, like here's the interesting thing. Like most video gamers, they're probably anti-war. And this is a historical thing. The young generation is always pro-peace. Do you know why? Because if there's a war, guess who gets drafted? So, it's not just historically speaking, but like if you look at the people who play video games, they're already for peace. They want to stay home and play video games. They don't want to travel abroad to Ukraine. So, if you're angry at Russian video gamers, you're barking at the wrong horse. And then it's also the fact that there are a couple of really good video gaming companies which are affected by this. Owlcat Games is my favorite. They did the Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. And yeah, I don't think we're going to get updates from them anytime soon. And it's very sad because in my opinion, they created one of the best role-playing games that I have played since Baldur's Gate. But it is what it is. So as you can see, like people in the forum here, this story is a reminder that it's best to think this as Putin's war, not Russia's war. I guess I should be shocked that I'm reading about geopolitics on a video gaming website, but it's Kotaku, so. And not to mention, like, this is the absolute state of the world, isn't it? Like, you're getting bombarded with the current thing wherever you go. Whether it's the pandemic, whether it is the Ukrainian conflict, whether it's like, what the fuck ever. You know, it started with Drumpf this, Drumpf that, and now we're here. I mean, I just want to play video games. I just want to tune out. I want to relax. The life that I live is very stressful. I just want to play video games without thinking about the fact that there's a conflict on my border. For like 30 minutes if it's possible. I'll think about the conflict the rest of the day, I promise. But like for 30 minutes, I just want to play a video game. Although, you know, like it's fine. Like this type of article is fine. It's literally like probably the only explanation where I can see an article about video game where it talks about geopolitics. It's like, oh, well, the developer said this. It's like, okay, fine. Also, I just noticed the absolute state of Kotaku just now. Like, only 12 community posts. Really? Like, only 12 messages on your website? Like, how many people viewed this page? It's so sad. Kotaku, what is going on? And then they talk about, like, oh, I don't trust none of them. What type of answer is this? Like, I don't trust those developers. Like, what do you think they're going to do? Do they think they funnel the money to the Russian government on the back door? Like, what? God. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys trust them? Do you trust Loop Hero? Let me know in the comment section. I'll see you there.